Can something life-threatening stop you from being successful? This is Mission Ignite, no bullshit business. Hi, welcome to Mission Ignite. Here we uncover the no bullshit stories from successful individuals and ignite your dream to success. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because today's guest is the ultimate multitasker in the world of entrepreneurship. So, from gamifying math to simplifying HR, Gordon Ng has done it all. He is the CEO and co-founder of Talenox, a cloud-based HR software that is making payroll and leave management as easy as ordering your favorite bubble tea. But don't let his calm demeanor fool you, because this guy's journey is packed with twists, turns, and a whole lot of hustling. Gordon's entrepreneur adventure is like a roller coaster that you'll want to ride again and again. Now, with Talenox taking over Singapore, Malaysia, and Hong Kong, he's here to share his epic highs, humbling lows, and some golden nuggets to inspire all you dreamers out there. Let's give a big podcast welcome to the HR wizard himself, Gordon Ng.
Thanks for the invite.
Would you want to share with our audience out there, right, who you are?
I'm Gordon, co-founder of Talenox, and I'm holding the CEO position. Yeah.
So what is Talenox?
Talenox is a HR SaaS platform that is very focused in HR compliance in the area of payroll and leave management. That's for the first 10 years when we are building Talenox, and we look out localize the logic for multiple countries in Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and recently also Indonesia. And since then we have grown quite a fair bit, and now we are starting to build other modules to help companies of a bigger size with more complexities and so on. Yeah.
So when you say payroll, right? I mean, help us understand, because I think most of us we will never see payroll or understand payroll, right? So how does your company help in terms of payroll side?
So payroll, you can imagine at the end of the month, some companies do it on 25th, some companies do it at the very end, or maybe the start of next month, where you receive your pay slips. You see all the calculations, the breakdown of CPF, self-group funds, and so on. So what we do, we are the engine behind to help you calculate all the different complicated scenarios. Like in Singapore, for example, let's take Singapore for example, where you have ordinary wage ceiling, additional wage ceiling. All these can be quite complex if you don't have a software. And when you have a bigger size number of employees, and that's when complexity keep growing. Yeah, so usually companies will have a software to help them with that. Yeah.
So when you say bigger size employees, how big can it be?
So we primarily serve SMEs. I would say typically our average size is around 15 to 20 to 50 headcount. But we have companies as small as less than 5 all the way to 8,000 over headcount. Yeah.
Wow, 8,000 over headcounts.
Yeah.
Wow. So the thing is that because most of us, when we start off our companies or even in the HR side, we will have never thought of having such a niche software to help us in terms of payroll. Why did you decide to venture into that?
So initially it wasn't just, I would say, just payroll. At the very first year, our very first contract or our very first client is actually 2,000 over headcount. That was not in Singapore, it was in Qatar. 2,000
over headcounts in Qatar?
Yeah, in Qatar. So
okay.
Very initially, we didn't even have a product when we did the first sale. What we did was we created something like a UI UX that is clickable, and we did a voice recording over YouTube, and use that as a demo. And because Edwin and I, my co-founder, we know that engineering is very expensive. And thanks to him for that business connection, we were able to close that deal. And since then, we actually tried to build for both the mid-market and also SMEs. But we were building a few things. We were building payroll leave management, time tracking, scheduling, and also modules for security companies. And after 1 year of building, we realized that we need to make a decision.
Yeah. Too scattered, too many things to focus on.
Yeah, we have a small team.
Right.
Yeah, to be very honest, we have a small team. We are a startup, and I always tell entrepreneurs that it's very important to focus. Yeah, so there are a lot of opportunities, but you need to know what's your niche.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after 1 year of building, we decided that we need to meet the very hardcore. Like, what do we want to do? Do we want to focus on SMEs or do we want to focus on enterprise?
Right.
Because the way to sell, the way to build is very different for both markets.
Yes.
So looking at our own DNA, we decided that, hey, it makes a lot of sense for us to focus on SMEs because we are a very product-led growth company. Most of our guys are product guys. And we believe in building a product that is scalable, that is good, that you can just go online and try out. Then after that, your problem is solved. Yeah, so with that, it makes sense to just focus on SMEs. And when we're talking about SMEs, then we look at the product range. Like, should we still build everything? Because we don't have so many engineers at the start. Yeah, so that's when we just decided that, okay, let's just focus on payroll. We wanted to be kind of like the Zen payroll, which is in US of this part of the world. Now they are called Gusto. But we realized that you can't just do payroll, unlike in US. You have to have the leave component.
Right.
Yeah, and that's how everything strengthened out. We just queue off the rest of the product and strengthened out to just these two.
So payroll and the leave, so they can calculate that if you take a leave, they're going to pay you back how much.
If you take leave, certain leave types will affect payroll, like no pay leave, as an example, or leave encashment. In certain countries or location like Hong Kong, it's a lot more complicated. Every single leave type can actually affect pay.
Wait,
Yeah.
so I'm curious, are you HR trained?
I'm not HR trained. Yeah, so I work for a HR outsourcing company previously. That's sold to TMF. That was when I realized that the platforms then were too complicated to use, and SMEs were underserved.
Wow, okay, that's very interesting. Walk us through your journey, right? Because I also understand that you also started a different set of entrepreneur at the start, right? So why entrepreneurship?
Okay. So I started off entrepreneurship for the very wrong reasons.
Very wrong reasons.
Yeah, so
That's interesting, okay?
So I started collecting figurines when I was younger. That was like just before NS days and NS days. And I wanted to kind of like fund my own hobby. Yeah, so I know exactly like what kind of figurines people would like to collect and so on. So that's when I started getting a group of friends, 5 of us, to kickstart that, to bring figurines from Japan to sell in Singapore.
Wow.
On Yahoo Shopping. I don't know how many of you have heard of Yahoo Shopping.
That was quite some time
that was
ago,
quite some time
right?
back.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
The best thing is that there's no comms. Yeah, there's no commission to pay, unlike like eBay and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But after starting that, I realized that actually I like to build something. Yeah. So we moved on. That didn't kind of like didn't continue further because there were some sleeping partners.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's when we also learned about what's the best size in terms of like the founding team. Like, is it 2 or is it 3 kind of size? And what's the difference between active founders or co-founders and those that are sleeping partners?
Okay.
We just call them shareholders. Yeah, so then after that, we started off at Education Center, me and the other partner that was in Roxy Square in Power Parade. And I tried out like other things like in terms of e-commerce, in terms of something like a Groupon for fashion, and the other was a web development company.
Web development.
Yeah, so that was with another co-founder in US and Sri Lanka.
Wow.
Yeah, so that taught me a lot actually, that period of time. I was like too busy.
Too busy.
Like I overstretched myself.
Okay.
I didn't understand.
What's running about 3 businesses at least?
3 to 4.
Wow.
Yeah, because we managed to automate the education center in terms of operations. But that taught me actually a very crucial lesson that I will need to focus. Yeah, because I'm too stretched. Like, I think one thing about entrepreneurs in general, the great thing is that there's a lot of ideas.
Yes.
The other thing that is difficult for entrepreneurs in general, I feel, is to have that kind of focus. Like to really believe in one thing, just focus on one thing and make it really great. Yeah.
Right. So I'm curious. Okay, let's go step by step here first.
Yeah.
What got you interested to start off a education center?
Education center was kind of something that I'm very passionate about. Then I've been teaching at private tuition since 16 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So I kind of like to teach in a sense. I find it very fun to help someone to improve in terms of learning. not just grades. I don't believe in just scoring. Yeah, I think it's important to actually learn the knowledge. Yeah, so that make it very fun. And I'm a very lazy student. So I know that by teaching, it makes me more
Learn as well.
hardworking. Because I cannot screw up.
Right.
I have to teach the right knowledge.
Correct.
So actually help me in terms of learning also.
Oh, so that education center, what? How old were you when you set that up?
That was around 19, 20 years old. Yeah, so
1920.
yeah, around 19 to 20 years old. And we ran that for around 6 years.
Before you guys selling
selling
it off.
it, yeah.
But when you're selling, you guys were making money when you guys sold off, right?
Yeah, but that was actually quite one of the biggest regret that both partners had, because we should have continued and just keep growing it.
Because you earned a lot more by then.
Yeah, because we just need to make it into a franchise, just automate more of the processes and keep growing it.
So I'm curious, what made you guys the decision to actually sell it off?
At the time, we had another idea. So after I kind of was supposed to go for this thing called NUS Overseas College. It's called NOC in short.
Okay.
That quite a number of the well-known entrepreneurs, they actually go for to head to Stanford for 1 year to study a minor in technopreneurship, technology entrepreneurship.
Yep.
Before I went for that, I had a major operation. So just 1 week before, I realized
1 week before?
I need to have a major operation.
What?
It's a brain tumor operation. Yeah, so...
And that was what, 24 as you mentioned?
That was around 23 to 25 years old. Yeah, so that was when I realized that I need to slow down. Yeah.
And focus.
Yeah, correct. I realized that I have been working too hard. I thought I was young, I can just exercise enough.
Right.
I don't need much sleep. Yeah, but I was wrong.
Okay. That was overwork because of brain tumor, and you had a surgery.
Yes, I had surgery. I had 2 surgeries actually.
2 surgeries in that same span of time.
Yeah, I think it was like around 2 years span of time. Yeah, around that. Yeah.
And now you're fully recovered.
I'm fully recovered. Yeah.
Oh, that's congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Wow. So that point you decided that okay, sell off, the education center, and then you went to do developing work as well.
Yeah.
Right? And which point do you decided that actually, Talenox was founded? Because you've been doing it for 11 years. And along that way, you not just do education, you sold off, right? You did developing work, you did business lead for HR, which just now you did mention that you found out that SMEs, they are actually not well served.
Yeah, so after I sold off the education center, the reason for selling off is because we have an edutech company that we started off. And we wanted to focus on that. But during that period, our tech co-founders, they are still studying. So in between, I actually helped out in a HR outsourcing company.
Okay.
More focused on more towards strategy, and we actually built something similar, as in more of like a payroll platform internally.
Right.
But that didn't get launched after I left the company. Yeah, so that was, I believe it was sort of a consultancy company, the last I know. So the problem wasn't solved. SMEs are still kind of like, they don't really have a platform, especially a cloud platform for them to solve all these issues. At that time, the software are still too expensive.
Yes.
And they're clunky, they're very difficult to use. They're desktop based. So you need to at least have like 3 months of like training and so on to know how to use it. And you also need to know SQL coding to know how to like retrieve the reports. So we're like, oh, why is software built this way? Yeah. So after that, I kind of like moved on to edutech company. That problem wasn't fully solved, but that also didn't run off very well because I would say mismanagement of co-founders kind of like expectations. I didn't realize that not all co-founders actually need shares. Some of them actually will prefer more compensation in terms of salaries.
Right.
Yeah, because of livelihood and so on.
Right.
Yeah. So that taught me actually a very big lesson on how to manage like co-founders' expectations, how to create like vesting schedule and so on. Yeah. So after that happened, I had my second operation. Sorry, it was a 4 years period. I mean,
4 years period.
Not 2 years. Yeah, so 4 years. Yeah, so I had my second operation because I was a bit of leftover. Yeah. And after that, I was resting for 1 month. I got a bit bored. That was when Edwin came back from overseas. So he was traveling around. He was like, Edwin has been like working in US, Malaysia, and so on. Malaysia some more helping another his friend's company, Gush Cloud. Yeah, and when he came back to Singapore, I caught up with him. He was actually helping me in the edutech company.
Right.
Yeah, previously as just kind of like helping out as an engineer. Yeah.
So instead of resting after your operation, you could be a restless and instead of create.
I rested for 1 month plus. Yeah, so technically I did rest.
Okay.
I managed to spend time to draw. I've been wanting to like draw digitally.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was drawing for kind of like for fun, posting on Threadless and so on. That was when Edwin came back and we're just discussing like next steps. And we realized that the gap in terms of this area is still unsolved. Yeah.
Right.
Probably because it's very unsexy area. Yeah, but we really like it because it's really unsexy and it's like an area that most companies require.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that was when we decided that why not we try out. That was when we started Talenox. Yeah, but initially, of course, it wasn't like immediately Talenox. We actually kind of like did a bit of web development project to get the company going. Yeah, and after we closed the Qatar deal, that was when everything snowballed. Yeah.
Right. So ladies and gentlemen, right, you never know if you're a true entrepreneur. After 1 month of resting from a major operation, you get a bit of restless and there you go. Boom. Bomb a big company, right? Form that companies and that's it. The rest of your next career, right? That's what happens.
Yeah, but you will need to go through a lot of like a lot of trials, to be honest. Like around 10 years of success and failures, I would say.
Right, but I did see that, right? So let's walk through because I think many of us we think that success is very easily gotten, especially in an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs, when we define success, it's a bit glorified.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah. So let's walk through some of that down times that you had, right? And you've been through quite a fair bit, right? From personal, going through a medical operations. Right, to things that are being sold away, which you thought that if let's say you guys have to continue and franchise, I'm curious, what was the biggest lessons, right, that you had in the last 20 over years?
I think one of the biggest lessons I learned was kind of like managing expectations. Yeah, it's important to find the right team. Like when you kickstart a startup, you need a team of very passionate, very capable individuals that who complement each other.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say that to me, of course, everybody will have their own view. The magic number is around 2 to 3 in terms of founding team. Of course, there are many that work out well also. Like
so, when you mention 2 to 3, why, in your opinion, 2 to 3?
For speed. So, like if it's 2, like a current case of Talenox, it's very fast to make decisions. But there are founding teams that they are worried that if it's 2, if I disagree with you and I agree with you,
they'll just fight.
Yeah, like there's no one to kind of like vote.
Counterbalance.
So
right.
That's why some prefer 3. Yeah. So but for us, it worked out. Yeah, Edwin and I always joke like, oh my god, it's been like 10 years.
But would there be any? Okay, I'm very certain there are always occasions that you guys will fight.
Yeah.
How did that fight ended up?
I don't think we fight. Because
never throw spanas.
No, both we are not the kind of like individuals who will fight in that sense. But I think as we kind of like grow together, a company as well as individuals, we start to respect each other. And of course, we also still respect each other at the start. It's just that we respect each other more. And I think how we make decisions is always about being logical. Like whose idea is better? Let's look at the numbers. As simple as that.
Wow, so data driven.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow,
if you don't have like the data, like if it's just pure ego saying that this will work out because I heard about this, then what's the point? Yeah, what's the point of running a business in a scientific way, in a logical way?
Yeah, but this is because both of you guys understand that the data-driven decision-making, right, was key to success of the company. Is that right?
I think as of then, yes. Yeah, but also because each of us have around 10 plus years of experience previously. dealing with different kind of like founding teams.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So-
when we realized that. Yeah.
So when you go through in terms of a dynamics of a founder, right? What about staff? Right? What sort of qualities do you look out for staff then? Because I think you did mention that your team is small and you're looking for passionate people, right, in the founding team. But what about staff?
I think for us in Talenox, one of the most important thing is the attitude. Yeah, because it's very difficult to kind of like change a person's attitude. So we hire, we focus a lot more on the attitude,
Okay.
on the adaptability, like how fast the person is able to learn a new knowledge and so on. Because the world is always changing.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't possibly say that, oh, you have this knowledge and 5-10 years down the road is still going to be relevant. Yeah, so take for example, our head of marketing.
Okay.
When she initially joined us around 9 years ago, she's still around. Yeah, thankfully and not thankfully. Just a joke. Yeah, so
Okay.
initially when she joined us, she has no marketing knowledge.
Oh wow.
Zero. And she was impressive. Like she managed to build the whole inbound marketing. Remember, we actually moved towards more of SMEs.
Yes.
So we needed to ensure that everything is kind of like self-serve.
Right.
So inbound marketing is super important for us. So she took 6 months to build the whole pipeline learning by herself. Yeah. So that's a very good example of good attitude,
Yes.
but may not have the skill set. Yeah.
So as long as you don't have the skill set, you're willing to learn, you're still a good fit, right? Is that what I mentioned?
Yep, correct. And our coding language that we use internally, not a lot of engineers, they actually learn it. Is you don't really like learn it in school. Yeah, so we also need to teach, need to go through with our engineers. So our engineers, they pick it up themselves. Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. Then is it hard to retain such talents then? Because when we look at this, when we look at the attitude of such good employees, there's bound to be one point or another, right? People will headhunt them, push them away.
Yeah. Our head of marketing actually was kind of like headhunted before. Yeah, and I think she has very good opportunities. She can easily go to big tech, or all our engineers, I'll say. And even for our sales guy, he left and immediately got a job, right? Yeah, so I'll say the most important thing is to have the right culture.
Right.
Yeah, so a lot of teammates, some of our teammates who left us, they still keep in contact. And some of them even rejoin
Wow.
after a few years. Yeah, so I think it's important to be genuine, to have the right culture, to get a team that want to succeed together. I think that's quite important. Yeah.
Right. Now let's talk about personal aspect here then. What was your lowest point?
My lowest point in my life.
Yes.
It was, I believe it was just before my second operation, because at that time, due to certain reasons, I was kind of like kicked out of the edutech company.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want to go through the details.
Okay.
But it wasn't the best experience, and I felt that it was a waste because we built a platform that students are already using, and there was a lot of hard work being put in, but we didn't manage to grow it further. Yeah, and there was already demand. Yeah.
How do you pick yourself out from there?
So I managed to chance upon this book called Search Inside Yourself. Yeah. It was by this author called Tan Chap Ming. He's one of the first Singaporean who joined Google.
Right.
And he called himself a jolly good fellow.
Ah, okay.
So that's why I used that in my title, Jolly Good CEO.
So that's how your title, Jolly Good CEO, came about.
Yeah, just as a joke, because I felt that it's just quite boring to call myself a CEO. Yeah, so just wanted something like more fun. And whatever we are doing is already like, people are like, oh, payroll, so boring.
Yes.
And we want to make it more fun, right?
Yeah.
That's why you see us as a very different company.
Right.
Yeah. So that was when I learned about mindfulness. I learned about meditation and so on.
Mindfulness, meditation, okay.
Correct. And then after that, I also got to learn about yoga.
So you went for yoga?
During Talenox, I get to experience like yoga.
Do you still go for yoga?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I've been practicing for quite some time. Yeah, it's just that now less time to go to the gym. I don't go to the gym. I practice individually at home.
Right. Oh, that's very interesting. So that book inspired you and actually got you out of that so-called pit hole.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dull period, but I was quite lucky. It wasn't that bad until I like kind of like fall into depression. I didn't fall into depression. Yeah, but it taught me a lot. Yeah, and it made me reflect a lot.
Yeah. Now, the thing is that when you mentioned that, because in today's world, many of the younger ones, not even the younger ones, even the older ones as well, right? We talk about two very key things. Number one is work-life balance,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So how do you manage those work-life balance? Because I think as a founder, as an entrepreneur, it's definitely your schedule is very packed.
Yep.
As you mentioned, before those operations was being done, right? You were totally overstretched.
Yep.
Now, how do you manage work-life balance? Or is there even work-life balance?
So, I mean, work-life balance, I believe in it. But at the same time, what is important to you at a different stage of life may be different. Yeah. So maybe someone at the younger stage of their life, they just want to focus a lot more on their career, lesser on maybe building a family. So to them, that's work-life balance. Yeah. But at a later stage, maybe when you have kids, you want to spend more time with your kids and lesser time in terms of career. That's also work-life balance. So I think the definition is different for different people.
Right.
And the key thing is how we can kind of like design our processes around that. Yeah, so for Talenox, we have been a remote-first company, even way before COVID.
Right.
Yeah, we
Lots
do
of
have
work from home.
I think at the time we wanted a bit more flexibility. A few of our teammates were traveling around. They're asking like, "Hey, can we like kind of like travel around? Is it okay?"
So they were traveling around for holiday?
Work.
Oh, for their own
As in
work.
for holiday, at the same time
Wow.
work. So they kind of like some of them maybe travel to like Canada, Korea, and
So they
so
want to
on.
extend their trip a little bit.
Correct. Or they would just want to be there for like a few months and work from there.
Wow.
Yeah, which is fine. Yeah, so we already had that culture way before COVID, and we designed processes around that, and it worked out well. So same thing when you talk about like, oh, if some of our teammates have been with us for so long, right? Some of them 8-9 years, some became parents from no kids to like 2 kids and so on. Definitely, at a certain point of the time, they're like, oh, I just want to spend a bit lesser time on work. Is that okay? Like, okay, I may or may not want to progress further in terms of whatever I'm doing. But is it okay if I stay on like this, commit this amount of time?
Right.
So we can discuss whatever work out for you. Some say that, oh, I really want to achieve more. I want to spend a lot more time on this. I want to grow towards this area. Then we can design that around for you. Yeah.
Right. What about second thing is what about mental health? Because mental health is a big thing now, right? And for you, right, to have went through that orderly, it's been really shared for you, your lowest point in time. What would say someone, right, who think that actually mental health is very, very important, right? Or in fact, how do you even have someone who to deal with at their lowest point in time?
Yeah, so in Talenox, there's always an internal joke that Gordon will always say, do yoga to solve everything.
Oh, really?
No, joking.
So what, you bring yoga to Talenox?
So we did have one session. I think they can't regret it. Yeah, I think in general, okay, to me, yoga really helps me a lot. Like meditation really helps me a lot, especially when I'm practicing yoga. But in general, I feel that just be. It's very difficult to tell you to just be.
Yes.
Yeah. And I always like to point out like one phrase that my wife always told me about, which is 10 years down the road, you look back. Is it going to impact you? Like whatever happened, is it going to impact you? Or are you just going to laugh at it? Yeah. So my wife has been quite crucial in terms of like helping me to be more mindful.
Right.
Yeah, and she's a very, very logical person.
Wow.
Yeah, I think without her, I won't be able to grow so much in terms of like being less emotional, focus on more towards logic. Yeah.
Which points my next question. Pillar of support for entrepreneurs has always been very important, right? What about you?
It has been extremely important. I'm quite lucky to be married to her. And we have 2 kids now. Despite her workload, she's actually very busy. in her own role. Yeah, but despite being good at her career, she's also has been devoting a lot of time taking care of kids and so on. So we've been doing our best to support each other, like taking turns to travel initially when we don't have helper and so on. Yeah, so I'm very grateful that I found someone who understands like what I'm going through. Yeah, it's just not easy to do a startup. Yeah, it's actually better if you just find a good career and just focus on that. I would recommend everybody to kind of like start up something unless you are very, very passionate about it.
Yeah. So maybe let's look at that, right? Because when you say that, in fact, most entrepreneurs say that, right? In your context, why so?
I think not. I think the first thing is what do you really want in your life? Like, if you want to be very good at a certain skill set, for example, instead of like building up a whole company, then I'll recommend that you just join a really successful company that is able to provide you with those opportunities so that you can focus on growing in that area.
Okay.
But why entrepreneurs like to build is because they like to see that whole process of something from nothing to helping a lot of companies.
Right.
Or maybe like a lot of people's life and so on. Yeah. So, but of course, there are those that are very passionate about money. Then that's still different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's a different thing altogether.
Correct. Yeah. So you have to be very clear of what you want. For us, it's about our passion is about helping companies in general, like really making their life easier. Yeah. So that's why we build all this. If you do not want to spend your time other than honing your skills, then you shouldn't be an entrepreneur.
Right.
But if you just want to, if you like to build things and you like to learn like different sets of skills, like jack of all trades, I think entrepreneurship does help in a certain way. Of course, you can also do project management or other things that can help you in that. But as an entrepreneur, you always have to be master of one. You can be jack of all trades, but you still need to be master of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So things that, in terms of Asia context, right? When you are an entrepreneur, when you're saying that you want to be a jack of all trades, right, master of one, there are bound to have people giving you feedback.
Yeah.
If not, you can't be to have jack of all trades or not.
Yeah.
What is your take, on the Asia context of giving feedback, especially for you, right, as an entrepreneur?
I think on the whole, Asia is quite huge, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I just like focus on Singapore.
Sure.
As an example, I think in general we have progressed a lot as a nation to a stage where our parents kind of taught us about not to fail.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so like in terms of like our education system, it's always about how important it is to score good points,
Right.
how important it is to succeed. And as a parent, when like I say, when I told my parents that I wanted to do a startup and so on, they will get worried. Because to them, it's never safe as compared to joining MSc. They're not wrong. They're definitely right in a certain sense. Okay. It's just that if we have this kind of culture, then it will always breed this kind of people. Yeah, so that's why entrepreneurship for a certain period of time wasn't kind of like something that I would say Singapore is very well known for. But I will always pose a question back to the generation, like when Singapore started 50 years back, 60 years back, it was entrepreneurship. We started from nothing.
Right.
Everything they built up, the banks, the companies and so on, it was all entrepreneurship. Yes, we did attract a lot of FDIs, but it was entrepreneurship then.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing about humans in general. Once you get a certain stage where you're successful, you will be worried about failing.
Right.
Yeah, and it's important to always have that mentality that it's okay to fail, but don't keep making the same mistakes. Yeah, because when you fail, you get to learn and you improve. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What about mentorship then? Is mentorship important to you?
I think mentorship in general, I think is important. I would say that sadly, I didn't manage to find a a real life mentor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, I've been talking to people, learning from them and so on. But I find my mentorship more in books, like books that really help me along, stories that help me along, experiences that I read from books. Yeah. But yes, if you can find a mentor, I think in a certain sense, it definitely will help you speed things up. Like you won't make stupid mistakes like I made.
Yes.
Like if I were to...
You'll be cut short a lot shorter lah, based on the journey.
Correct. Like if I were to
what
find...
is some guidance and all.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you will find?
If I find the right mentor, then like you say, I would have avoided all this.
Right.
Yeah.
What about networking then? Is networking important to you as an entrepreneur?
Networking is definitely important as an entrepreneur. But I mean, there are those that are introverted and more extroverted, right? So there are those who really like to network, do a lot of PR and so on, but then they didn't really focus too much on their business. There are those that really like to build and they don't really like to network. So you need to find a good complement. That's why the founding team is important.
Right.
There must be a mix.
Okay.
Most likely there will be like one or two guys who are the like hustler. Yeah. So networking is important, not just because you want the hustle to kind of like sell your product, but really to get to know, to get to connect the dots.
Right.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are very, very like in a rush to sell. But what is more important is to build the connection, the trust. Like in this committee, in this ecosystem, you have to build the trust. You have to be someone that people can trust you.
Right.
Then they will kind of like, be more open to kind of like try out your product or your services.
Right.
Yeah. So if you ever network, it's about sharing knowledge. It's about building the trust. It's not about selling.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Right. So before we ask you more questions, right, I'm going to bring out a special deck of cards. So stay tuned. Welcome back. In my hands, I have the Enzo card. This card was developed by Mission for you guys to use out there, for you guys to ask any questions that you can't think of to the person right opposite you, for you to find out how do you uncover their secrets right in it. And today I'm going to demonstrate right here with Gordon.
Thanks.
So Gordon, I think there are a few acts in this card, but I'm going to straight jump into the fourth act itself.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to keep things very simple because of time.
Yep.
Right. I'm going to jumble this up and I'm going to spread this out across. Okay. All I need to do is, what we're going to do is we will actually pick out two cards. Okay. And we'll go through the question in these cards. How about that?
Okay.
All right. Simple. Right. So come, Gordon, pick your cards.
This one.
Okay. And this one. All right.
Yep.
So here I have two cards that Gordon picked up. All right. So the first question that Gordon you picked was that, what are the ongoing challenges do you face in your career and how do you actually approach them? Yeah.
At this moment, I think the ongoing challenges for our career, which is kind of like my company, it's more of for the past few years was really more of fighting inflation and interest rates.
Okay.
Because we do see SMEs shrinking as a whole due to rising costs. But of course, things are getting better, as you know, that interest rate has kind of like subsided. Same for inflation. But we do see companies automating a lot more. Like if you look at F&B, when you go into any restaurants, you realize that there are like lesser headcount. Like a lot of things are self-serve. Like you can just order and so on. Yeah. So based on our data, on the average, companies have been shrinking. So we've been fighting that. We have been growing in terms of like number of clients, but we do see the headcount being affected. We are quite lucky because our pricing is quite special where there's a price capping. So it didn't really impact revenue in such a way that it brought it to like negative growth. Right. So we were still able to grow, not in the best way that we wanted to, but I think it really taught us a lot. It made our company as a whole, our team a lot stronger, a lot more resilient. And we actually push for a lot more. And I think next year will be quite exciting. There's a lot of interesting developments that are coming out. Yeah.
Well, that's very interesting to hear. So we're waiting to watch out for all these new developments that's coming out, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's very interesting. There you go, guys. Then the second question that you actually picked, right, is how did you adapt to changes in your industry or market?
So I think that also kind of like
pretty much answered the first one.
Indirectly.
Yes.
But I think the the future will be interesting where you will start to see lesser and lesser people who are interested to kind of like perform HR administrative tasks. So how can we kind of like come out with solutions aside from automating the portion of like calculations of like connecting to the statutory boards, the banks and so on, where it's kind of like quite automated in a certain way. Can we autopilot the whole thing?
Right.
Yeah, so that is always a question that we're asking internally, and we're already in the midst of like exploring to build something in the roadmap for that. Yeah.
Right. Oh, thank you very much, Gordon.
No problem.
Right, and ladies and gentlemen, that's how you use the Enzo card. So now we are back. All right. I want to transport you back, to your 1890s, right? With
Okay.
all the experience that you have.
Okay.
What's one thing that you have done differently?
One thing that I've done differently, I think the toughest part when I was younger is kind of like knowing, kind of like thinking forward, like try predicting like what will happen if I do this. Yeah, so at the time when I was younger, it's a lot more driven by I would say emotions and passion.
Okay.
Where if I want to do certain things, I just roughly plan it, and I'll do that. I don't kind of like plan out like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years.
So it's a gung ho, just chung, let's go,
Correct.
that kind of thing.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't kind of like plan out longer term to see like where I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah. But I guess if I would have done that, I may not be who I am today also. Yeah. So it happened for a reason. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So with that in the past, let's go to the future.
Yep.
Right. What is the future do you think for Talenox or even for yourself?
So for future for Talenox first, I would say that hopefully we can grow it to be a household brand, not just in the countries that we are in, but also in future countries, like because we want to be like the top 3 in most of the Southeast Asia countries, the main ones, the main few, and hopefully further part of APAC, like some parts of East Asia, Down Under, and so on. I think that's one of the main thing, and also to help more and more companies, to help more and more SMEs. There are also a lot of other exciting things that we can do in the B2B2C space, but till that is done, then we can explore that. Whether it is done by me and my co-founder together with our current management team and our own team, or is it done by our future team?
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, but we definitely want to ensure that as we grow, we have a very clear succession plan. Be it within ourselves, based on whatever we have to keep growing the company, or it can also be any kind of like acquisition that makes sense, that will speed up the company in terms of achieving our vision.
Right.
Yeah, so that can be also an option.
Was it hard to actually expand overseas?
I think expanding overseas is kind of like my first time experience as compared to whatever I experienced previously. Was it difficult? It takes time. I think it's very important to network with like locals, to make friends, to meet more partners, to learn from them, to really be as humble as possible, to know that you are not an expert in that country.
Right.
You need to learn from people who are experts in the country.
Right.
Yeah, and we are in a region where it's very fragmented. Every single country is very different. The way to go into, the way to kind of like penetrate the market in each country is very, very different.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's the challenge. Yeah, and it's important to have also friends who may have experience in those countries, share with you like what are their challenges, what makes sense for them, what didn't make sense for them, and so on.
I see. Wow. So Gordon, in my show here, right? In fact, for every guest that came to sit here in this position, I'll ask them one question.
Yep.
Right? And this question is, if there's one word, all right, that you would give to any young aspiring entrepreneur out there, what would that one word be and why?
For me, I mean, there are many different words that kind of like push me forward as an individual. But I think what is the most important is the passion.
Passion.
Yeah, the most important is really the passion.
Mm-hmm.
You can have greed, you can be logical and so on, but without the continued passion, it's very easy for you to kind of lose track of what do you want to achieve, like to keep you going.
So you might go astray because of that.
You might go astray,
Right.
and you have to be very focused
Mm-hmm.
on achieving that and be very passionate about it. Yeah, because after a while, you're running a marathon. You're not running a
short sprint. Yep.
Yeah, so the last thing you want is to get yourself burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and passion does help to keep that going. But of course, at the same time, you need to learn how to pace yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that, Gordon, right?
problem.
In fact, before we end off the whole show, right, I would like to put your attention into this camera here,
Yep.
right? And any last parting advice that you have for anyone that's out there who is trying to, create a success in their own journey or even start up as an entrepreneur?
I think in general, focus on giving. I think it's very important for you to understand that you're not just creating a startup just to take from the society, but you are creating a startup to kind of like give, to add value to the society. And whenever you kind of like want to do certain partnerships and so on, understand why is it important to give. I know it's very difficult to understand like this whole idea of giving, but as you grow, as you mature, you understand like why this is very important. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Gordon.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
And there you have it. What an incredible session with Gordon Ng. From navigating roadblocks to scaling Talenox across borders, Gordon has shown all of us that what's possible is when passion meets perseverance. His journey reminded us that success isn't just a straight line. It's a series of bold moves, tough lessons, and determination. So Gordon, thank you very much for taking us behind the scene of your entrepreneur adventure and leaving us with so much inspiration. To our listeners out there, we do hope that you're walking away with fresh ideas, renewed motivation, and maybe even the courage to start your very own journey. Until next time, dream big, hustle hard, and keep reaching out for the stars. Hi guys, thank you for listening. If you like what you have just heard, follow us for more content like this.